Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be working on the Dodge. It's had a few things wrong with it, and I finally have the parts to fix some of those. This is... I don't remember if this was speed sensor or... Yeah, that's the speed sensor. This, I'm pretty sure that's the O2 sensor, and this is a ballast resistor. I need these just to fix random things. For example, the ballast resistor is for the wipers because they're 6 volt. So I need this to drop down the voltage so I can actually drive this while it's raining. So that'd be useful. The engine has some issues when it gets warm. It starts using the O2 sensor. The O2 sensor is screwed up. So I have a new one to fix that. And I have a speed sensor because my speedometer doesn't say the right thing. It's about 15 above what it should be. And the transmission will just randomly shift into second or third while I'm driving. Like if I go uphill, it'll shift into third. So it gets really annoying when you're going 50 kilometers an hour. You start going up the steep hill and then it just decides to go into third. Because you can count every rotation the engine makes. So hopefully today I'm going to get all of these on, and well, hopefully it'll be a little bit better by the time I'm done. So I think I'm going to start with the O2 sensor. So I've got the car jacked up, and now it's time to go under and see if I can take off the old O2 sensor. Underneath the car, the O2 sensor is right there. There's not much room. So that camera's pressed up against my forehead, so it's a little tight. But if I can get that off, and then unplug the wire right there, then I can get the new O2 sensor on. So I got the O2 sensor off. It came out fairly easily. It's looking a little black. I can't really see it as well on camera. You can probably see it better. But it's looking a little black. It's definitely old. Like it's been there for I don't even know how many years. But now I can replace it with an actual good one. See if I can open this with one hand. Oh, the sticker's getting in my way. Yeah. Brand new O2 sensor. So I'm just going to take that out and see if I can get it back in. So that's the O2 sensor done. All I have left to do is just tuck these wires back under the little centerpiece here. Don't want something to hit that on the road, that'd be bad. That's probably good enough. Shouldn't stick out a bit. So, that's the first thing done. Time to move on to the speed sensor, which I think is just like right over here somewhere. So I'll go over to that side. Got the new speed sensor. This is the one I actually opened right when I got it, just to see what it was. So, got a little cable. Oh, I don't know if that's like an extender or... Oh no, yeah, that's probably the connector. And I have the actual sensor. So, I did crawl underneath just to see what it looked like, and I don't like the fact that mine is held together with zip ties. So, every other sensor on this car is nothing but zip ties, so it'd be nice to actually have something that isn't. So, I'm gonna try and get the other one out first, and then I'll bring that stuff underneath. So I'm underneath, and there's the sensor. There's zip tie that it's held on with. And the wire I was just talking about, saying how it might be an extender, I don't know what it's for. Because this wire, you can see over there, like it's still 2 wires. So I followed it along for a bit. That connector on the for the new sensor, it doesn't go to anything. So I'm just gonna be using this. It's fine anyways, but you can see the zip tie. That's what I have to get off. So try and get that off, and hopefully it doesn't break or strip any threads. Hello everyone, this is me from a few days in the future. I'm here because I wanted to say that if you like the videos I make, or the content I do, or are curious about even my projects, the cars, anything, it would help me a great deal if you would subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, it's free to do, and it'll notify you if I post a new video. And it would push me a little bit closer to being able to make money, which I could put right back into the cars, projects, or even a camera stand, because right now you're sitting on a broomstick. So, with that being said, thank you, and back to the video. It's been about 3.5 hours, and here's what's left of the speed sensor. It didn't want to come out, and ended up breaking a piece of the clip that was holding it in place. And I had to go in with a Dremel just so I could cut the bolt off, because if I didn't, it would have taken the entire part of the transmission with it. So, cut that off. I don't know what happened to the rest of that. I'll find it later. And those zip ties I was pointing out, it actually held everything together, apparently. So I thought it was just on there to hold a wire or something. Nope, it just held everything together. Because right when I took it off, this entire piece fell off. So that's fun. And yeah, it's definitely need to be replaced. Because this should be smooth to my understanding. It's smooth on that side, but there's a whole bunch of junk on that side. So it's probably a good thing that I replaced it, especially because of that. I would have never gotten that off. But here's what it's supposed to look like. So hopefully this will fix some of my problems. So what I'm going to do before I put this back in is I'm going to take a little bit of oil and just put it on the threads, just so it doesn't do that again, because that was annoying. So I'll back once that's ready to get put in. It's the next day, and I forgot to say yesterday that I put in that sensor and everything should be working fine. And now I can finally move on to the wipers. Now, this wiper has a little bit of a problem. It kind of shakes around for some reason. This wiper doesn't. So I'm gonna see if I can fix this first before I start working on the motor, just so this won't like snap or bind or something. So start with that. All right, it took a little bit, but I think I got it to a fairly good position. It doesn't rattle around as much. You can see it kind of moves the other one. I can't really tighten this anymore. I'm not sure. The problem is it's a little splined cone in there, and when you bolt it down, I think it presses into like a soft piece of metal inside of here, and it locks it into position. But I don't know, the bolt's not strong enough anymore. Something happened that it just does not want to go back on. So I did get it back on, and I bent this, kind of see it, just so that it can actually apply a little bit of force onto the windshield, because the other one, like that, works fine, but this one had almost no spring tension. So I just bent it to the point where it does have spring tension, and I mean, it works. It's not, you can kind of see a little, well, you can see a little gap, but I mean, it's better than how it was. And later on, like, all I was doing, I was just pulling it up like that and just bending it, so I can always adjust it later if it needs to be a little bit more. Now I get to start working on the inside. I locked myself out. Now I get to start working on the inside, because right behind that is the windshield wiper motor. You can see it is wired up, and all those wires go all the way over to my wiper switch, which doesn't do anything. Well, get some leverage. So I'm pretty sure all I have to do is take some wires, this ballast resistor that my neighbor gave me, and hopefully if I just wire it up, put this in the middle, it'll drop down the voltage, and I should have working wipers. So I'm just going to take a look underneath and see what I'm going to have to splice into. So I took a peek underneath and decided that it would be easier just to pull the gauge off, or to pull the switch off just to work on it. So that's exactly what I'm doing. It's a very easy thing to do. It's just a little screw at the bottom. Most gauges are like, or most knobs are like that. So all I have to do is just take this off and it should pop out from the other side. Yep. And I'm making sure to keep everything up here where I'll probably lose it. Now, I feel the wire. Bam. And there's the switch. It's interesting to see what the wiring from the 50s looked like. It's simple. I like how almost every electronic piece is still mechanical in a way. But even that woven wire is so cool. But I'm going to see if I can connect that up to power, or at least find a spot to splice power off of, and I'll be back when I get some on that. I just wanted to show what the setup is going to be. I have a wire coming off of the positive terminal of the battery. It's not too thick. Well, it should hold. It says something on it. Anyway, it should hold. I think I'm gonna have the, what's that thing called? Ballast resistor. I think I'm gonna have that maybe around right here, because I know they get hot. So I think I'm just gonna leave it outside. I'll run a wire to it here, and then I'll just use whatever's left of that wire, connect to the other side, and then run it through one of the many holes in the firewall. And hopefully that should work. And if I have ballast resistor there, I might be able to connect other things off it too. So that'd be nice. I just got the wiper switch all wired up and hooked back up together. It was actually really easy. You can kind of see. Yeah, let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, you can see what I did there. It connects, and I just bent it and it goes through the firewall. It follows along here. But I tucked it neatly under the dash. You can probably see it's a black wire, so if you can see it under there, then good luck. But now, if I do this, it works. Put it in full screen so you can see. The only problem is that one goes too far, and when that's bottom for it. So that one works fine, which I'm genuinely surprised by, is that one doesn't work, and I'm surprised by that. But just happy if I do this. That's awesome. So now all I have to do is take that one off and see if I can move it down a few notches. So hopefully I can actually do that. Did a little bit of tweaking with the wipers, and now hopefully they should line up the right way. So if I turn them on, bam, just like that. They both make contact with windshield. That one might be a little loose. But now they actually get everything they're supposed to, and they go right back to center. This one, yeah, this one's a little bit taller than that one, but it's not even a noticeable amount. Well, now it's off. Whatever. Man, nice to have wipers. Nice to have wipers. Got the O2 sensor replaced. That should hopefully help the engine run. Got the speed sensor replaced. So that should help the transmission, which will in turn help the engine. And got the wipers so I don't crash into a tree while everything's working right. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.